In 2020, I started my big makeup use-up challenge with the aim of using up all my cosmetics products and working my way through my doomsday beauty bunker of makeup supplies. 6 years of project panning, decluttering, empties reviews, and nerdy spreadsheets later, and we're still going. Hey friends, it's me, Amy Rebecca, your internet bestie for all things personal development, intentional living, and dream chasing, as well as former overconsumer who has now seen the error of her ways and is trying to live more minimally. Not minimalist, couldn't be me, but I am now far more intentional about my purchases, and I only buy things that I know that I need or that I'm genuinely going to enjoy and get use out of. And it has been a journey. Some of you have been there since the very beginning. Shout out Trash Appreciation Society, you know who you are. But it has been a learning process. I did not think when I started project panning in 2020 that I was still going to be doing it in 2026. I didn't really have a concept of quite how much stuff I had. Like, I could see it with my eyes, but because I'd been so conditioned and overconsumption had been so normalized in advertising and on social media, I thought what I had was like an appropriate amount of stuff. And now here we are all these years later realizing that it was in fact more stuff than I could possibly use. So today I thought that we could just talk about some of the products that I would never buy again, having done 6+ years of project panning. I just realize now that like they serve no purpose. Waste of money, waste of space. I'm not interested. And if you can think of any more that you would like to add to this list, let me know in the comments, because I feel like there's gotta be some that I'm missing. Oh, and also, please subscribe. Okay, number one product that I would never buy again, face palettes. I started out my big makeup use-up challenge with 4 face palettes, which in the sober light of day, now that my mindset is different, I can see is actually insane, because I only have one face. We are sold the idea, the notion, that we need variety in our makeup collections, and largely that's not true, especially when it comes to face makeup, foundation, bronzer, blush, highlight. I used to look at my favorite YouTubers back in the day, Jaclyn Hill, looking at you, with, you know, jars and jars and drawers of blush, and I'd think, oh my gosh, that's what I aspire to be, that's what I aspire to have, this is my goal in life, to own all the different shades of blush that there are. But it just doesn't make any sense, does it? Because makeup is so personal. What looks good on me is not necessarily going to look good on you. We all have different skin tones, undertones, colorings, and it's not a universal one size fits all. Not every shade is going to look good on me, so why would I want to own every shade? Especially with face palettes, probably more so than any other kind of makeup. It just doesn't make sense unless you are a makeup artist and you are applying that makeup to a variety of faces. A much better option is to just find the shade that works for you and buy that. Like, you don't need a whole selection. You're never going to be able to use all the different shades that come in one of those palettes. If you are cycling through all those different shades, I hate to be the one to tell you, that probably doesn't look good some days. Only some of them are going to look good on you, not all. Friends, it's not Pokemon. You don't gotta collect them all. And jumping off of that point, the next thing that I wouldn't buy anymore is eyeshadow palettes, for a very similar reason. I truly, to my core, think the only people who benefit from owning an eyeshadow palette are people who are very experimental with their makeup looks. They're bright, they're bold, they're trying new things, and girl, it is not me. Warm tone neutral, all day long. That's all I want. Be so honest, who among us has ever fully panned an eyeshadow palette? All the shades. As an example, I'm going to invite you into my little corner of shame. This is my favorite eyeshadow palette of all time, the Naked Original. And look, I don't want your judgment. I know it is a relic. I know I should have thrown this away probably 10 years ago. I can't do it. I can't do it. Anyway, my point is, this is my favorite eyeshadow palette of all time, and there are still shades in here that I have never touched. This grey, I'm never going to wear that. A few of these I've dipped into occasionally, but for the most part, I am just hitting the same ones over and over again. So I'm gonna put it out there and say that for most of us, if you think like me, it makes much more sense to just have a few single eyeshadow shades, 3 to 4, that you can use together or separately, put them in a little magnetic palette, and then you're good. The next thing I would never repurchase is any kind of quick drying spray. If you've been watching my project pan videos for a while, then you might remember the quick dry nail spray that took forever to use up and was one of my Project Pan arch nemesis, actually. Here's the thing, I don't think they make that much of a difference. With the nail sprays, all they do is make your nails touch dry faster, which isn't that helpful because they're still not smudge proof. And then I also once used a quick dry hairspray stuff, and that maybe knocked 2 to 3 minutes off the overall drying time, but made my hair feel really gunky. So I really bought into the time-saving element of those products because I have no patience, but ultimately they don't really save you that much time, so in my opinion they're just not worth it. The next product that I will not be repurchasing is foot cream. Tell me why I started my big makeup use up with 3 foot creams. 3 creams for my feet. Don't get me wrong, okay, I love soft feet as much as the next person. We just don't need specific creams for our feet unless you have some kind of, what is that, like a podiatry issue? Is that feet? I'm trying to sound like I know what I'm talking about and I don't. Unless you've got a specific issue that requires you to have a specific product for your feet. The rest of us, if we're just trying to have softer feet, we can use body lotion and it works the exact same way. It's also probably cheaper because with a foot cream you get less product, it's a smaller tube, and it's usually more money. So just use your body lotion all in one. I would even say use it on your hands. It does, it works for hands, feet, body, the whole thing. Except I will not let go of my hand cream because I really love mine, it smells really good. But you could, I mean, it would save even more money to just have an all-in-one head to toe lotion. And lastly, as someone who has now done Project Pan for many years, I would not buy feature specific primer. And by that I mean like an eyelid primer, a lip primer. I guess that's all, huh? Because there is no such thing as a nose primer. Although knowing the cosmetics industry the way I do, I would not be surprised if that was coming out sometime soon. Mark my words, this time next year we're going to be seeing nose primers on the shelf and we are going to be sold the idea that we all must own a nose primer. Look, I love face primer. I couldn't be without mine as the oily swamp creature that I am. But I just realized over the years when I was working on using these products up, they didn't really add anything to my makeup application and my overall, you know, the vibe. There just wasn't that much of a benefit to having a specific eyelid primer. I can just put my face primer on there, that works fine. I didn't see that much of an improvement with using a lip primer. I mean, I can just use my lip balm and that's okay. I think these products, by and large, unless again you're working at like a higher level of makeup artistry, in which case I can't speak to that because hello, I haven't got a clue, but for like the average day-to-day person, I think with those kinds of products we're being sold a solution to a problem that doesn't really exist, because I really don't notice very much of an impact whether I use those specific primers or not. So take them or leave them, they don't really add anything. Call me cynical, but I am just so sick of the makeup industry bombarding us with marketing about the new must-have product that is going to change your face, no, your life. And look, I get it, it is so easy to get sucked into that. I mean, girl, I was so far down that rabbit hole, I was smoking hookah with the Cheshire Cat, okay? But through altering my consumption habits and taking a step back and questioning what I buy and why and is it really necessary in my life, I've been able to see that a lot of products I used to think I needed, I just don't. And don't forget, if there are any that you would add to this list, let me know in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm going to leave my big makeup use up challenge playlist down in the description box, which has 6+ years of videos you can watch right from the very beginning up to now, just in case you got nothing to do and you're looking for something to binge watch. Please remember that you are enough just as you are. I love you so much and I will see you soon. Bye guys.